Hello and welcome to the Biokinetic Canine. We are talking about when must your canine go to canine gym. It's quite an interesting topic, and some people think, oh, my dogs they're just dogs. They don't need to do anything extra. They are active in any case. But sometimes those active dogs, those are particularly the ones that need to have a canine gym just for their own safety. But let's get into that. So welcome to the Biokinetic Canine. My name is Angela Ahern. I'm the owner and founder of the Biokinetic Canine, and I'm going to hope you enjoy the show. If you are there, let me know where you are, and we can say hello and all these things about our show. So when must your canine become a gym goer? There are a couple of categories that are more important than others. So let's just go through them quickly. If we can say, number one, young dogs. Why would you say young dogs? Because they are growing, they're carrying on, everything's fine, they're running around, they're just growing dogs. This is true. But if you take even young children and they go to school, there's always phys ed. They do physical education, and it's not always a full structured program that a child must follow. It's about climbing onto jungle gyms or doing some movements, getting their balance, using their body, because they are sitting around in school all day and they're a little bit too sedentary because they've got to sit down and they've got pent up energy. Just like young dogs, they've got this energy that they've got to use. And we can help them grow in a way. Bob, hello! Awesome that you're here. So we can help them grow in a way so that they can discover and work their body in a manner that is safe for them to do so. When it comes to young dogs, we don't want a dedicated strength program because their bones are still soft, their cartilage is still soft, they've still got growth plates that are fusing and coming together. So we don't want to have super strong muscles on these softer bone structures that they've got in their body. We want the muscles to rather help and protect the body and help the body function. Riani, hello! Helen, hi! You got load shedding. Oh, welcome to South Africa. Yes, it is happening here. So, same now with these young dogs. We don't want to make them super strong muscles. And a lot of people feel, oh, we must keep the young dogs strong to protect their joints. Yes, we do need to protect their joints. But more important, we need to help them stabilize themselves, help them find their balance quickly and easily, help them get a good posture. There's so many times you see these puppy schools and they have all the best intentions in the world, and you're teaching the dog to sit and to lie down, and the puppies are sitting and they're just like sitting like this, and everybody's going, oh wow, my puppy's sitting, but they're slouching like this, so he's sitting, and that's awesome. Or if they're lying down, they're just lying there. That's awesome that the puppy lay down when you ask them to lie down. But if you're going to ask them to lie down nice and neat. Or ask them to sit up straight, even if it's for 2 seconds, because I promise you, to sit and slouch and to sit up straight uses a whole lot of different muscles in the body. And to sit up straight like this, oh my word, it makes you really tired. So even if you're going to ask your puppy to sit properly, just for 2 minutes, you are engaging the muscles. And the muscles learn what it feels like to get engaged. And because you are then working those muscles a little more than just getting into slouch every time you ask them to sit, they are getting that little bit of extra exercise. And those muscles are getting appropriately strong enough to hold that little body together. And that's what you want. So when it comes to your puppy being a gym goer, it's a gym goer, but it is appropriate for that puppy's age. You don't want to have the adult gym happening with that young puppy's body. But it does so much for their body, because when it comes to puppies and we want to protect their joints, etc., we want to protect the structures around those joints, which are a lot of little stabilizing muscles. It's not the big working muscles. It's not the big strength squads and all of those things. It's mostly those little small muscles that are working all day in any case, and they're discovering how that puppy's body moves. Because you must remember, your puppy's growing. It doesn't grow all at the same time. It grows like this, and you'll get high ends at the back and high ends in the front and these long gangly legs. So that body is discovering itself, just like humans as they grow up. We've got babies with heads much bigger than their body proportionately. And when you become a teenager, you're all lanky and arms. Same with the dog. We are trying to figure out how our body works. And that's why we have school gym and school sports, etc. Not the same as adult training and adult sports, but just to help that body function in a way and learn about its movement so that we can be safe and know about what is good posture when we grow up, so that we don't have bad body habits and we walk around with a hunched back, etc. But we know exactly how to hold ourselves correctly. The same thing happens with our puppies. So when we've got young dogs, canine gym and particular exercises for those gym things are important. Kay, hi, welcome. It's awesome that you're here. So when we're looking at puppies, we're talking about, like I said, not dedicated strength, 10 repetitions, 3 sets. We're talking about helping them find awareness. How can they place their feet? Where are their back feet? How can they target themselves? How can they get things done? All those skills. If you are going to be taking your puppy into a sport one day, we're not asking for speed and wow and drive and all these, just skills of how to go around something slowly. Those type of things. We're looking at developing their skills for one day if they're going to be a working dog or sport dog or search and rescue, all of these type of things. How can they work their bodies? And then we are talking about getting their balance. How can they get their balance? How can they find their way and hold themselves steady if they're climbing over things that are not too high off the ground, because they're puppies. You don't want them to fall and injure, but how can they navigate through various areas of their bodies? Helen, you're saying jungle gym for Donald, or for dogs, aka McDonald's ball pit is better than bad sits and posture. It's so true. It's so true. If you're going to have like a puppy jungle gym, let me just put this up, because what you're saying is true. So jungle gym for dogs, aka McDonald's ball pit, is better than bad sits and posture. Too much strength training shortens the muscles and ligaments. Yes, it all depends on how you do the strength training. So when it comes to too much strength training and it's not correctly applied, yes, you can most certainly shorten muscles and ligaments and make everything really tight. But then you also get dynamic strength, where you're working a muscle and making it stronger in a extended position. And that's really important to add into your strength training program. And that is more important, especially when it comes to the adult dogs. So a super point, Helen. Thank you for bringing it up. But too much strength, you don't want those puppies to have muscles that are stronger than their skeletal structures. This is super important. Thank you for that point. Very important. So we want our puppies to be in play areas. You want them to understand their awareness of their body, their proprioceptive abilities with their body, where they can place their feet, and their balance, how they can stabilize themselves. So gym appropriate for young dogs, for sure. And then we're looking at another category of dogs that needs to go to the gym. Oh man, our senior golden oldies, those ones that have been around with us through our troubles and we've been around through their troubles, and they've taken us through various sports, or they've been with us all our lives. Those guys, the one with the doe eyes and they've got the gray beards. So what happens just with dogs, as it is in humans, as soon as they hit their senior years, they start to lose lean muscle mass. And that's just that the lean muscle starts to waste away, just like normal as with humans. It's not a problem, but it becomes a problem if we don't address it. So what you want to do with your senior dogs is you want to just maintain good, healthy muscle mass, so that that loss of muscle mass doesn't get replaced by fatty deposits, where your dog will look exactly the same. It's not losing weight. It looks like it's in good condition. But if you feel the muscle, the fat layer is a little bit thicker and the muscle is a little bit smaller, and you'll find, especially with our seniors, they lose their strength in their back legs. So their back legs become a little bit unstable, just like our older senior people out there. They're a little bit more unstable on their feet. and they need to get their balance back and their stabilizer muscles strong again. Now, your stabilizer muscles are a lot of small little muscles in the body that are working all day. And because we're having muscle loss, normal age progression phenomenon, these muscles are also affected, the small stabilized muscles. So to increase their balancing and their ability to do low impact strength training, that really protects their joints and gets them going for longer and healthier and easier. So their quality of life is maintained. And even if you're doing low impact because they're older and you can't go doing long runs, that low impact still gets the heart rate up and they're doing awesomely. I see it in my own dad. He still goes to gym. He will do so until the end of time. But it's a good thing that he does because it keeps him mentally stimulated, just like our older dogs. They're retired, but they can't go out and do all the things that they used to. But it doesn't mean that, oh, well, you're now a couch dog. Yes, they can have a more peaceful day, but every dog likes to have that use value. And if they can do something where you can say, oh, wow, look at you, you did so well, they feel that they have been useful to us still in their old age. And then they walk away from their small training session and they've got this pep in their step and they feel, oh, wow, look at me, I've done all this. So you give them a nice mental outlook for the day and they've done something positive with their body. So senior dogs are definitely candidates to become canine gym goers. Yeah, very important. A dog that's had any surgery or there's been an injury and they've done their rehab and they've done their physio, anything after a traumatic event, and they've been cleared to do exercise, please continue with the exercise. If nothing else, take those rehab exercises that you did and don't stop them. They are doing so much for your dog. So if a dog has had surgery and now they've gone to the physio, they've gone to the rehab and they've been cleared, continue with that, because you must remember any area that has been worked on or has been injured, those muscles around that area and the muscles that travel from there have been weakened because of the lack of use. And you need to have to strengthen those muscles up again and then work the strength throughout the body, because as those muscles have not been working and now they become weaker, other muscles in other parts of the body has had to take over the job. And so there will be imbalances and knots and all these things. And if the body is made strong as a whole again and they get them up to nice working strength, not sports strength yet, but comfortable life strength, then those dogs are much better off. And they've also got something to do. And while they stay strong, you are always protecting the area that was originally injured. Annika, hi! Angie, hello! Angie, you are saying, let's have a see here. Bocelli had elbow surgery 1.5 years ago, and we still do all the rehab exercises and even more in his fitness program to keep him strong and safe. Exactly. And you understand this. So, and I've seen you work your dog, you would never ever say he had elbow surgery. And only because you're keeping him strong in those areas and the rest of his body to do all the things that you do with him. And that is so awesome. So even though something as big as elbow surgery, I mean, if anybody that has to hear that, your brain is almost fried. Your dog is still able to have a positive, good quality of life and still do loads of things. It's not to say that this is the end of the road. If you maintain and you keep on doing those exercises and a little bit more, just like Angie's saying, you have got something wonderful for that dog. And it helps with pain levels. It helps with everything. So just because you've been cleared by the rehab, don't stop with the dog. Keep going, because you're going to be looking after that body for the rest of that dog's life. That's the one positive thing out of rehab, is that you've got these exercises. Keep going. Don't stop. The body needs to keep on being made fit and strong all the time. And it'll help you to discover if there's anything untoward. You can nip it in the bud really early. So any dog that has gone through any surgery or any injury and has come out and has been cleared to, your dog is fine, you can go home now. Keep on doing those exercises. You'll be doing yourself and your dog a huge favor. Those dogs are now, should be in the canine gym. And then, of course, this is something I wish I knew at the time. After whelping, as soon as your dog becomes a mom and they've got those puppies, that post-pregnancy body is full of hormones that have made all the muscles and the ligaments to relax just to give birth. And that really affects the posture of your dog. Even for any woman that has had any child, your body afterwards is never the same. And you need to get it back into shape where you can function nicely and comfortably and maintain that full body strength so that you can do things that you need to do. Same with a female or a dog that has had puppies. They will have all the abdomen muscles have stretched, all the pelvic muscles has stretched in order to give birth, and now all of that has to come together. So all their joints and ligaments throughout the body, because it relaxes the ligaments in the body, relaxes the hormone. It relaxes the ligaments in the body. All of these things need to eventually come together, and we can help them along by maintaining their muscle tone and to get them back into shape again for whatever they were doing before they had the puppies. So it's not just to say that your dog has puppies and there it is, that's the end of the line. There's lots of dogs that go on to do great things, females, dogs that are doing great things, and we can work their bodies and protect them. So just because they've had puppies doesn't mean that is it for them. You can have, if you've got a sport dog and they've had puppies, you want to get that body that has had this wonderful miracle happen, and you want to get that body back to a condition that is going to help them do whatever they need to do further with their career. So after whelping, don't think that, oh, well, that's the dog. That's all it is for them, and that's it. You can still do lots. If that dog goes to gym and you strengthen the body and you look after the joints and you strengthen the structures, the tendons and the muscles and the ligaments that support those joints again, while those ligaments are contracting back to get their same full strength and hardness, they're not so relaxed and pliable, and that motherly softness now starts to fade, we can still protect their bodies from any injuries as they go out into the world afterwards. Very important, your weekend warrior dogs. If your dog is at home all week because you are working, but you're this active person that goes out on the weekend and you take your dog out for this nice long hike, or they're running and they do hard runs, hikes once a week, but they're not doing anything in the week, there's a huge risk of injuries occurring because they live the sedentary life in the week, and then all of a sudden on the weekend, either those 2 days or just one of those 2 days, there's this full out big exercise activity, whether it be hiking in the woods or running on the beach. And that is a lot for a body to take in that hasn't done anything in the week. But if you can do some gym movements with your dog for 10 minutes 3 times a week, you are looking after that body for the big event every weekend. So when it comes to weekend warriors, after long days of lying around, just give them 10 minutes 3 times a week, 15 minutes when you come in from work or before you go out to work or while you're making your cup of coffee, do a couple of exercises. You will be so happy that you did. It will look after and protect their bodies for a much longer term, and those small niggly injuries are kept at bay. Then this is something else. A lot of people don't realize. They think, oh, well, my dog is full of energy in any case. Those high energy dogs, they are completely reckless with their body. They go flying all over the place and they running around. It's 100% excitement. But what happens with those dogs is that they don't have a lot of impulse control and they just go and run. You throw the ball and they're off. So if you're doing fitness, you're creating a body that is strong enough for that high energy, for that quick running and jumping off wherever they're going. At least their body is strong enough to handle their own energy. You're helping them with impulse control, to be steady, to look after themselves, to be aware of their body, and all of those things, those proprioceptive movements, that awareness of what they're doing with their body really, really helps them and their energetic lifestyle that they bring onto themselves. So if your dog is really reckless and it's this high energy dog, do yourself a favor and get to do some gym exercises. It helps them with their impulse control. It helps them to be steady. It helps them to be aware of their body, where they must put their feet. So when they're jumping off something and they think, oh my word, now I've got to land somewhere, they know how to land better than what they would have. And they've got the body strength and the body condition to help with that landing. So those guys out there that have got those high energy and they know self-preservation, they will just go. Dogs, put in some fitness gym exercises. It helps with the energy displacement, but it also is a good thing for their body, and it protects them, their bodies from themselves. And then, of course, my category of dog, our sport dogs. Always, any person that is into a big sport always goes to the gym. Always, doesn't matter what sport you're in, swimming, golf, running, it doesn't matter. They go do gym, and they have to do gym to complement their sport. This is really important because sport creates muscle imbalances. There was this awesome article by Dr. Athena Kempler just with IGP Heads Up Healing, how it creates shortened hamstrings, weak cores, etc. Through no fault of ours, no fault of anybody, it's the sport. It creates muscle imbalances, and we have to make sure that the dog's body and muscles are maintained in good balance, because you want the full power of your dog in whatever sport it's doing. You always want that full power, so you want to make sure all the muscles are working. It helps with muscle imbalances. It helps with control, not only of the focus of your dog, but control of its body, impulse control, how to work its body, where to place its feet within the sport so that it does things optimally, with speed, with power, and in the correct manner in the use of its body for the sport. So if you're just taking a normal dog, I've seen people, they will do the heel work and they want to do the flash flip finishes and the flash left turns, etc. They do it, and when you're starting out and the dog doesn't know about its body, they really struggle and they will shuffle into the flip finish, and they don't have they sort of getting it, and they don't know that they've got good core muscles that they can use to move their butt in. They don't know that they've got really good abductors and adductors that they can use and maneuver to help with that flip finish, shoulder strength and stability in the spine to get their body around. And if all of those structures are nice and strong, they learn that flip finish a lot easier, rather than taking a body that hasn't got the proper strength to do it and to make them do it over and over and over again, and you get this really sloop of a shuffle into a flip finish. But if your dog knows what muscles to use and has got the power to do it, there you go. Why not get your dog that way than to bring him up from not understanding, slooping into a flip finish, and by the time they eventually have got it, they've got these muscle imbalances and they still haven't got that real muscle dynamic of doing it cleanly. So you want to have that control in the body. You want the strength to do the work. You want that awareness and assuredness of movement. Ooh, I love that when the dog they know how to use their body, that ease of movement. It's always a thing if you're watching these people at the Olympics or at the top of their game, or these big dance competitions, and you watch them on TV and you think, oh my word, it looks so easy. You must know that the easier it makes, they make it look for you, and you think, oh, you can do it in your lounge, no problem. It's absolutely more difficult to actually do. The control that is required to make something look easy is huge. So when you see these dogs and they're the world's or at the top of their game and they make it look so easy, you know they have been going to their canine gym. It's not just hours and hours and hours of practice. No, it's smart practice. Build the body, make the body strong to complement that to sport that you're doing, so that the dog makes it look easy. dogs jump and dogs jump, but then you get dogs that just jump. And it looks so nice because it's been trained correctly with a body that can actually do it well. That's what you want to do. You want that ease of movement in your sport. You want to have stamina, so prolonged strength, and you want endurance of the dog in their sport. So definitely your sport dogs, if you are doing any sport with your dog should be doing canine gym exercises, 100%. So I hope that you have got a good understanding of the types of dogs that should be canine gym goers. If you're taking your dog to a canine gym, make sure that whatever you're doing is complementing whatever lifestyle your dog is having with you, whether they're a weekend warrior, a sport dog, you're coming out of rehab and you're looking after an injured area, you're looking after a new mom dog that's puppies are growing up nicely and they're on their way, but now you've got to look after that mom, or you've got a young dog and you want to make them really aware about their body, or you've got that golden senior that is just the awesomest dog you've ever had in the world. They need to go to canine gym. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode and it's got you thinking about all these things. I'm going to say then, good day. Thank you so much, you guys, for visiting. I really love it when you pop in. Bob, Briani, Helen, Kay, Annika, and Angie. Thank you so much for saying hello. Have an awesome weekend. Happy training with your dogs, of course. And I will see you next week. Let me put up my details. If you need to get hold of me, you know I'm with the Biokinetic K9. Let me put this down. You can go to our webpage at thebiokineticK9.com. And thanks again for seeing us. Cheers, everybody.